Alright, welcome to episode 43 of my demo review series. Today we're watching a guy by the name of B1ue playing in a face-up pickup matchmaking game, whatever, I don't know what it is. And let's just hop right into it. So the round's already started a little bit. Play some catch up, but just by a few seconds. And so what usually you want to see is someone buying armor. This, but it looks like I think you were playing with a team, res those on your friends list, and so it's good for you to get kit. Nice, you're the kit holder, and you got 2 flashes. Depending on where you go, depends on what nade you want to get. Drop, and you're playing with the kit, usually the best. B, sometimes it's better to get a smoke or an HE grenade because you're usually gonna rush. Looks like the rush and drop. Alright, you're holding a really passive position here while your teammate's still making contact and drop. So this would be a good time for you to hop up in the window and help out your teammate. Let's see, do that, awesome, he lives. Last guy's probably going to be long. Give it a full rush. So now you guys won that round, now it's going to be an anti-ego round, so you should buy full armor to get a submachine gun or FAMAS. Looks like it's going to go with P90. As we can see on the right screen here, they're forcing up. So P90 is not that bad because it does some decent damage even against armor, especially at close range. And now you're playing a little bit further than you should be. If you're going to play from this distance, maybe using a FAMAS or even a scout, depending if you're good with it or not, if that's your team. Now you're just spraying a lot, and all you can really do is so it's good that you got on top of fountain right here, or statue, some people will call it as well. That way you can see more of their body compared to just seeing their heads when you're down below. The drawback is that they can also see more of your body, and you guys lose that round. So again, if you're going to play at a distance like that, FAMAS scout would be better. But if you're going to have like a submachine gun like you did, playing a little closer, smoking off B long, and then boosting someone on there, or just having him climb up there really quickly would be a better situation for you guys. Alright, so small drop. You're able to pick up that guy. And now you're just holding drop. Cool. They can be up A though. I don't know if your teammate called out A or not, because he definitely wasn't watching it effectively. Right there. So now, should be another save round, or should be a save round from you guys. Now you probably just want to try to do as much damage to the economy as you can, even though you guys have USPs. You guys are probably gonna get slaughtered. So you know there's one guy long. They came out drop already. You should be aware not of just your positioning, but your teammates' positioning. They've all died. So it's safe to assume they are in drop, and you're exposing yourself to 2 different angles right here. Kill that guy, cool. If you could save this weapon, that's great. You should be careful because they could be around you. You hear them planting behind you. So you definitely have to be careful of flank. And you just get killed there because of the aim punch. Nothing you can do about that. Now this should be your guys' buy round. You want to buy M4, no head armor, because they're probably gonna have full AKs. Awesome, full grenades too. I don't think you have enough for a kit, so it's not too much to worry about. Teammates though, 3 of them SMFC, buy head armor when they don't really need it. Nice, good little spray there on that guy. Nice headshot. So they smoke B long, your teammates smoke B long. This is a good time for you to hop up on the B plat. I think you're about to do that. And basically you can tell your teammates to go A. Like you can just leave drop open and they just have to be worried about connector. But as you see, teammates should be calling out that hey, they smoked B or smoked A and they're planning. rotate. So your teammates need to listen better and communicate a lot more effectively so you can get a faster rotate. So you should know there's a guy in Romeo. A guy like B or A long, I mean. Right. So this could be a good one-on-one. You don't have a kit, so you have to pick up one. Ooh, I don't know. I don't think you have this. Yeah, you definitely don't have this. If one of your teammates would have died closer, it would have been better. That way you can get their kit, but they didn't. So it's just very unfortunate, even though that could have been a really good clutch by you. So now no one's watching B long, so I don't know if this was your guys' game plan or if this was just you're like, oh, I'm gonna make a play and drop. This isn't really good. Communicating your teammates, hey, I'm leaving B long. Let's just play retake B, something like that. I think it's killed. You get killed from the right again. Look like you weren't really aware of where the enemies could be at, where you shot from. Gotta pay attention to that kind of stuff. Like, alright, they left B long. I rush drop. B long's open. Could they be out? Should be thinking to yourself, yeah, they can be. And that's when you're supposed to be aware of that. Oh yeah, alright, so if you're holding B, you definitely should be thinking about getting a smoke. Especially to smoke off B long right away. If you don't know that smoke, you should learn it. That slows down the T side for a good 15 seconds. If they push through, you do have the advantage. And you're buying a deagle right now, too. Don't waste your money on pistols when you don't need to. You want to start building an economy. You've lost 5 rounds in a row now. You guys don't really have a lot of economy to fall back on. So again, you could just smoke them off right here and try to get up on your plat. So you should think, alright, they could be on B plat by now. They're definitely on B plat. Grenades coming out. And again, your positioning, you're allowing them to fall off, and this is what happened here. Is because you're not in a really good spot to really watch them come out of broken wall on B long. You were just more focused on kind of living and just trying to peek. And because of this, they're able to get through and they're able to flank your teammates. That was nice. Good spray down on that second guy as well. So it's a 4v1 situation. Bomb's not down yet, so you can go either B or A. Kind of out in the open right here. But it looks like you want to push up there and clear this, which is awesome. So holding B long would be your best choice because you are lit. And now you know he's on A near a wooden wall. Alright, so your teammates keep picking 1 out of 10. Alright, if I came from site, your teammates should tell you, alright, he's on site. There's no reason for you to peek this right now. All you have to do is wait for him to plant the bomb and rush. Teammate kills them. Well, no one else died. But it's a 4v1, switching to a 2v1, your teammates were just peeking unnecessarily. First guy died, it was alright. Second guy should have waited. Don't want to give him too many 1v1s, because he can definitely win a 1v4. Nice, throw a nice molly. But they did throw a smoke, so got it out. Pretty bad spray. Good spray control, I guess, or maybe that was just luck. Honestly, for the most part, your crosshair placement is pretty decent. Sometimes it's just very rarely like in a really odd spot. For the most part, your spray control's been really solid as well as your crosshair placement. So your aim right now is just really good. you're positioning, you keep playing the same spot. You should always try to change up your spots as many times as possible. So yeah, they know you're on a statue. You can see their operators just holding the angle, waiting for you to peek. If you had instead of an extra flash, you can try to molly out behind box, clear it out, and you peek out, put them too wide, and that guy's able to pick you off. Again, you gotta change up your positions. Hold the statue is a really good spot, but you play there almost every round now, I'm pretty sure. And because of that, it's gonna become easier for them to reach you. Now your buying head armor here is really good because their economy is pretty bad because you've won 3 rounds in a row now. You should kind of think either they're going to be force buying or saving here. So head armor is definitely a good buy to do. Always be careful for a rush. You made contact mid. That should be telling you, alright, they're doing an A rush. You should be rotating right away. Because very rarely you'll see 2 guys run up mid without much contact when their teammates are behind them. And you weren't really watching long. So this is really bad positioning by you. Or not bad positioning, but just you were just holding a bad angle. You weren't really playing off your teammate's positioning. You have a teammate in mid, and A long's open, so they can easily just go A long and rush you, which they did. And they almost killed your teammate mid. Thankfully your other teammate was there to kill him. Or your teammate was able to turn around and do basically a 180. Play off your teammate's positioning. If he's holding mid, your job, if you're the first guy to rotate over, is to hold A long. Make sure he doesn't get flanked. If he dies mid, that's because it's him. Unless he asks for a flash or something, you shouldn't be looking mid. Unless they're rushing him or he needs a flash or something like that, you shouldn't be looking at mid. But if he's fine, he's not making a lot of contact, you don't hear him shooting a lot, then holding A long is your best choice. So again, you get pushed through B long. Teammate wasn't in a good spot to watch the drop down. He's able to drop down and kill you. So win that round. So you guys are up 6-5. Having a good ball momentum rolling here. Now you're picking up the auto. I don't know if this is really going to be a good buy for you. And again, you're buying a deagle when you don't need to spend that money. The angle you're holding, they're going to be going side to side. And it's going to be really hard unless you're really good tracking them with your crosshair. Otherwise, it'd be better for you just to have an op where you get those nice flicks, kill him in one shot, or again having a rifle holding around this area, or submachine gun close up, blah blah blah. You get the point. So the only way this is really going to work out is if they just really stand still, and right here by box, they peek out and you're able to kill them in 2 shots. Nice shot by you. But yeah, so if they're like rushing it, you're gonna have a really hard time with the auto. I'm not saying the auto's like a totally bad buy, but it definitely could get an op, which is a lot better. So they're going B, you should probably be saving. Looks like you are. So you save that auto. Yeah, their teammates should still be able to buy. You've won like 4 rounds, 5 rounds in a row. But again, they waste a lot of money on these head armor when they don't need it. Again, you gotta pay attention to your surroundings. You hear him fall off of balcony, and because when you're switching from the right side to the left side of the statue, that gave him plenty of time to fall off, where you thought he might have fell back behind box. So you gotta think of the possibility as to what he can do and the amount of time it takes for you to get over here to over here. So can he fall off? He did. Can he go behind box? He could. Did he fall back into that little doorway by B long. He might have, but you'll probably see his leg. So the only two possibilities really is him falling down or him by box. So it doesn't really hurt to check the fall down in that amount of time. Just going back and forth and seeing if he did or not, or peeking out before. But you get the idea. So the next round, you guys win that. Yeah, 5,700. Get your auto back, cool. You should get head armor because they lost 1-1, lost one, so they might be forcing here or saving. As we can see, they are forcing up. And again, don't really need the deagle. Maybe a 5-7 would be better with the auto, or just your USP too, because if you tag them once, they're gonna be lit for like 80. So a solid molly that really slows them down. And again, you're going to your same position. Oh, you're not actually. So again, this is a good spot. Alright, so you know there's one drop. Cool. Gotta be careful, we could come out through drop. So you know the last guy's on plat. Should have your auto out. Does have full HP. So your teammate's rushing out. This kill, which is cool. So now it's the last round of the first half. They're going to be on a very broken buy here because they forced bot last round. So this should be a very easy round for you guys. Throw your nade. Hopefully it's a bad nade, otherwise it would damage your teammates. And teammate was able to push mid, get two kills, third kill, bombs down there, and I'm pretty sure this round's over. Now it's on the T side. Now T side could be really fun on Cobble because all it does is just really take advantage of quick rushes as a team as a whole. You could do slow default takes, which are cool too, but I don't really like that. I like going for quick plays. But let's see what you guys do. You get Kid. No one really has any nades to smoke off cross or connector door or even and so now they know you guys are definitely going B, or I mean A, because they did see a whole bunch of people, so they should be rotating and they're pushing B as well. It looks like you guys have a little lurker here, and you guys don't check your corners. So no one checked their corners. That's the problem of your entry man. He's not checking his corners. He should be, and you get killed from behind. Because you assumed it was safe, because your teammate didn't check it. Thought he did maybe, or no one shot at you, because you gotta be careful with plays like that. You guys still win it, which is awesome, and you're getting a shotgun, so the only place you're probably going to be going is drop. And so you're going to have to hope that you can kill him 1 or 2 shots with the sawed off. Sawed off is alright shotgun. JW used it a lot. Pretty sure they got this from. You don't see anyone there. Should have cleared side room. You're just going to push in now. You're at your tech line, which is good because you're playing at medium to long distance here. And no one checked that side room there. And you died there. Fortunate. Again, if you would have checked that side room instead of rushing out a window, you probably would have killed him. And then probably would have killed the other guy as well. And again, that could have been the difference between you dying and you living. And again, you're going for the sawed off. I don't know if that was wise because as we can see, 2 of them saved AKs from the previous rounds. And it looks like you're the lurker of the team. And you definitely don't want to be lurking with a shotgun, unless something that can kill medium range, especially on these eco rounds. But if they're going to come close to you like this, pretty solid. So you got 2 kills at B. 3 kills, doing pretty well. 9, bring out your Tech 9. And the last guy's B. Let's go, you try to pick up that AK before time runs out. Nope, that wasn't on your mind. It looks like you're sticking with the sawed off. Having a really confident game right now. Nice kill. Can you raise that you guys should definitely use it. But you guys get flanked from B long because no one's really watching it. You guys still win it though. So you should be thinking they're on an eco round or maybe even a force up round because they've lost 4 in a row. Now let's see what happens here. So good, you have bomb. Oh, it looks like you're lurking, so you definitely shouldn't have bomb with you. You should be to your teammates. I don't know if you realize you have bomb or not. Yep. That's you just not having game sense, realizing you have the bomb and you just rushing into your death when you should be taking it slow because it doesn't seem like you know the economy situation for your opponents. Your teammates still win it though, surprisingly. And you decide to go with another shot, sawed off. Guys lose that round. You're still by. Find a deagle. Tech 9 just as fine. That was a waste of money because he fought off. Off one of the sides, left or right side, and a flash. You can throw in the pop flash them. Because if you can just smoke off one angle, then you know he's going to be in the other angle or he's in the smoke. Peek out, you die. Fortunate. So you guys lose that round as well. He's kind of broken for some of your teammates, so just drop some pistols for him. It looks like you guys are just pugging it. There. Now you guys should buy. You should be buying an 8K. That way you can close out this game. Don't need any more rounds going to them. Don't want them trying to get a comeback. And again, you spend money on a Tech 9. When you have an AK, definitely don't need to waste money on these pistols. You're just throwing away money. Because if you don't kill him with your AK, you're probably going to die anyways. Or a Glock should be enough to kill him thoroughly lit. So far on T side, I don't think I've seen you guys run any strats. Looks like you guys are just going from a default 4-1 to just seeing if you guys can work picks or not. Probably best to underhand a flash there. Peeks, right? Just trying to see if anyone's around there. Don't jump, that's a really stupid thing to do, almost costs you your life. Really watching your playing. You guys have been here for about a good 40 seconds now, just standing around. Now you guys are starting to X2 go out, but as we can see they did a stack on B. You don't really have a lot of time to between these different angles. Use your smoke off of a different spot, and try to get on the bomb. So plant that bomb. 2v3, you have 10 seconds to get that bomb down. Again, you shouldn't be peeking there, you should be watching where they could come from closest, so you should either be Gigolo peeking it. That way you can see, alright, not coming from the left side, maybe he's pushing through the smoke on the right side, in which he did. And if you were more aware of that, then you probably would have waited for him to push through and basically come. Because all you need right now is your bomb planner to get the bomb down. It's going to take them too long for them to push around a statue and shoot them. The closest spot someone's going to be at is either B long or through that smoke. So, submachine guns, not that good of a buy here. They're going to have full armor as well as M4s. Pistol's probably going to be your best bet to get a kill because you can run a gun with that as well as it does a lot of damage to the head. Again, no one really cleared the stairs there. You look like you're about to, but you heard the rush. Pull out your Glock. Glock's pretty much fucking useless. Again, if you just had like a Tech 9 or P250 even, close range, one shot to the face and they're dead. Alright, so now you have an AK, no armor, and no nades. You should be getting nades whenever you can. Tech 9 armor nades is your best choice. You want that head armor because M4s are only going to do 90 if you had head armor. So now you don't have head armor, they can do 100 and kill you in one shot. And it's just because you want the AK, it's definitely not worth it. Definitely should get the Tech 9 instead. Those full nades, that way you can clear out these corners here. You know there's one right under the drawn. Alright, now it looks like you guys can cross B right here. You guys have 2 picks, 3 picks. Jump out, really stupid jump. Either try to go across as fast as possible or fall down as fast as possible. You guys are on game point, and you go back to the sawed off for some reason, get a couple nades, and you buy a P250. A pistol buy when you have sawed off like this, not that bad. But if you're gonna have a rifle like these guys, don't buy pistols if you don't have to. So they should still be able to buy. They've won a few rounds in a row here, so you should still think they still have money to buy. Quick rush, he's not throwing it. Again, you go to the window when you should be checking this side HUD, side room. Kills. Again, they're not going to play no one drop. There's always going to be someone there, and you just keep going here, and because of that, really just let that guy live when he definitely shouldn't be. Now you're going to come in the site. This is really stupid by you. Like, you definitely should either be working connector more and let your teammates distract these guys, and you should be trying to kill the guys rotating on the side. Luckily, you get that guy right. And again, for some reason you think there's no one in drop. You saw no one in drop, you should at least think there is one in drop. They're never going to play 0 people drop because drop is so important to hold as a CT. Let's lose that round. And I think it's going to go 16-14 in favor of you guys, but it's going to be a few more rounds. And you guys need to save. Maybe drop some, these guys will drop some pistols for you. They could probably buy armor, but you definitely need to save for next round. So you know that one guy's in stair, danger, and probably a second guy can get around there. It's all bomb, plenty of time for them to rotate, call one over from drop to come over and watch his mid. As we can see, it's the opera. And so again, you just don't think because you saw one guy there, there's not going to be a second guy. There can always be 2 guys anywhere, it could be 3 guys, it could be a stack. So you definitely have to be careful of your corners as you're pushing it. So 15-13, round 29. You can full buy AK armor, but you can't get full nades. And again, if you didn't buy all those pistols in previous rounds, you probably have enough right now to buy full nades, or even last round full buy. That way your team can force up, and only one guy only have like Tech 9 armor and nades. slow drop. Take your team early, so default wait for boosters. They're going to give you like a lot of return, like all of this right here. You guys definitely should be trying to win more, so if you guys can do an execute. Again, you weren't expecting the guy to come up there. And I think you guys still win. Awesome. So again, expect them to get boosted up. They haven't really boosted up, so obviously the longer it goes without them boosting up, the more chances they have of actually trying it out and seeing if they can catch someone off guard. Obviously they did this round, so always be wary, especially after the smokes. If they don't have a smoke there, right, and you're peeking it and you're holding it and you're spraying just to give some awareness, then you can throw that nade. But if it's going to be a smoke and it dissipates and you have your nade out and there's a guy there, kind of bone. So always just keep that in the back of your head. So now we're going to go into the scoring section. I'm going to basically tell you how I rated you this game and how well I think you. Alright, so here's your score that I felt like you deserved in this game you showed me. And so you got a total of 52 out of 100. To me, it felt like you played like either like a DMG, MGE area. Just overall the way you played. And so I'll tell you why I felt like you played that way. So obviously your aim was really good. Crosshair placement was decent, so I gave you a 6 out of 10 there. Like slightly above average there. I felt like you definitely could have been better on CT side as well as T side. Just where you put it, how you check corners, etc. Your accuracy though I thought was pretty good. I gave you a 7 out of 10 there. Really solid, right? Not too great, not obviously more above average than 6 out of 10. So again, slightly above the average there, but not by too much. So I gave you a 7 out of 10 there. I thought you had really good accuracy. Basically, that's recoil control, just hitting your like pistol shots, as well as hitting your sawed-off and your sniper's shots as well. So again, for the most part, you hit most of your shots, I believe, but obviously it wasn't perfect. So I gave you a 7 out of 10. And then trigger discipline, I gave you a 3 out of 5. Just only when to tap, burst, and spray. I didn't really see too much when it came to your rifles. So I just gave you a standard 3 out of 5 there. And that rounds you off to a 16 out of 25. Then we come to movement. Your movement in general was okay. Didn't look too like blocky. I gave you a 2 out of 5 here because sometimes you need to know when to walk, you need to know when you run a little bit, look like. But for the most part, I think you did eh. So on T side, just try not to make too much noise. Try not to run around too much when you don't need to. On CT side, you have to figure out, and this kind of ties into game sense, and know where the enemy's going to be at. If you don't want to give away your position, don't be running around needlessly, because making a lot of noise makes it a lot easier for them to hear you and try to pinpoint where you're at. So especially in like 2v1 situations, connector towards Juliet, try not to like make a lot of noise there if you don't have to. If you're trying to play distraction, yeah, do it. But if not, just walk. See if you can jiggle peek it, cancel out your noise movement from your movement, so on. So that gives you a 2 out of 5 there. And then positioning, I give you a 5 out of 10 because it was only okay. And the reason why I gave you a 5 out of 10 was because you kept playing the same spot on CT every time. And if you were playing against really good players, it becomes very easy to read you. When it comes to T side, they should know you're always playing drop. Sometimes you definitely want to mix it up with where you go and holding. I don't know if you guys had set spots where you're supposed to watch it, blah 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 with your team. Again, that's up to your IGL to decide. But if you're playing drop like every round, you're just holding it. They know, okay, guy's still alive. It's probably a drop. And unless you guys like rush out A long or B long like you guys have done, and you go with them, they're gonna kind of expect someone to be dropped. If you're just like lurking, right? When they're like, let's say you're 4 teammates pushing up B long, you're in drop, but you play drop so many rounds in a row now, they know where you're at. So while you do have good positions, right, they're just not the best for the situations you're in because again, you keep playing the same spots over and over again. Rotation wise, on CT side, I just gave you a 5 out of 10 because I thought it was okay. You rotated when you had to. If your teammates are calling out sooner, definitely rotate quicker. But I don't think they did. That's why you didn't rotate as fast because they should have told you guys on site. Bombs spotted. Also pay attention to your radar. Make it bigger so you can see the entire map, and that way you can see the bomb if it's spotted in the corner of your eye. But I can't really give you too much of a judge on CT side for rotation wise. T side, try to rotate to the bomb and help out your teammates whenever you can. If you're lurking, obviously that comes with good game sense and knowing when to rotate through CT infested areas and just know when to push through. And that's just kind of how you rotate on T side. If you guys are all rushing out together, you should be close enough to where you can cover the bomb if he's planning. And yeah, so 12 out of 25 there, nothing too special. I thought it was just really average, so I gave you a very average score. Next up is game awareness, probably your lowest score here, and probably the most you need to work on from what I can tell. And the first one's game sense. I gave you a 3 out of 10. The reason why I gave you this is because a lot of the time it doesn't look like you looked like you didn't put together where the enemies could be at. So when it comes to game sense, it's thinking logically, intuitively, and just combining those together, and just trying to realize, all right, they rush drop. The fifth guy's unknown. He could be probably either going to be coming B long or he's flanking. And so that's when the guy came from the sidewalk and was basically shooting you guys because he came out of B long from the wall, shot you guys. Another instance is when you drop down drop and you clear it and you go window. If you would just like go to the side room like 2 or 3 rounds, you would have killed a guy with your sawed off and you probably would have won that round, instead of you going out window and trying to take like these medium to long range battles with your pistol when you should be using your close range superiority to your advantage. So what you can do is clear a drop room, right, that side room, kill that guy, and then you can hop out window, because then they're probably going to be rotating because they know they have T's have drop now. And then what you can do is go out a window and quickly try to get to the A door and just stay on the other side of that, wait for them to push through. Obviously if you hop out, you see them, then you go back into drop and you just hold drop and hold that position instead of taking that battle, because again, you don't have the advantage there. They have rifles. They're going to beat you about 8 times out of 10, 4 out of 5 times they're going to beat you. So that's a reason why I gave you such a low score on game sense, is because it looks like you weren't really putting too much together. Then as economy awareness, I gave you a 2 out of 5. That's because I felt like you just wasted a lot of money on your pistols when you don't need pistols. Like when you have rifles, sawed off is okay, but most of the time when you buy rifles, whatever you buy, you don't want to buy pistol. If you're buying like an auto or an op, I can understand buying a P250 or a 5.7, but you definitely don't need a deagle. You don't want to light someone up, and because you have a deagle, you can only fire so quickly. Like let's say you leg someone with the op, and he has like 10 HP, all you need to do is hit him once with a USP. But instead you have a deagle, and you miss your first shot, and then your accuracy is totally, accuracy is totally inaccurate, and because of that you miss subsequent deagle shots, and you get killed by that guy when he only has 10 HP because you only legged him. As well as when you're buying all these pistols, over rounds it costs a lot of money. So unless you're consistently winning and you like maxed out like 16k, that's the only time you should be buying pistols, like upgraded pistols, when you have like a rifle or an op. And if you have a pistol when you buy a rifle, you better hope that that guy doesn't kill you, because obviously if you have to pull out your pistol when you have a rifle, that's because you sprayed and you just missed your spray. But you have pretty decent recoil control, so I don't think you really need to buy these secondary pistols. Next up is teammate positioning. I give you a 4 out of 10. Know which your teammates are watching, so you know what you have to watch, as well as what you don't have to watch. So what you guys did on CT side was a 2-2-1 setup, which I think is atrocious. And it's just, if they rush you out B long, you just gotta hope you really hit your shots, otherwise they're gonna get through sidewalk and kill your guys' drop. And so what happens is you playing by statue a lot, and you weren't really holding the angles. You were kind of just jiggling back and forth. Then again, you weren't even watching the drop down from the broken wall and B long, and because of that, a couple rounds, 3 or 4 rounds, they've come out of broken wall and they were able to kill one guy drop. And that's only because you can't really properly watch that without overexposing your body, and you need a second teammate to be basically watching that with you. It's hard to hold B by yourself, and because of that, I had to give you like a low score, because you would have to play rock, or you would have to play by square and just hold that angle, or you would have to peek by coop, or you have to peek wide on statue, and those were probably the best positions to hold both. And so I gave you, like, because of your teammates positioning, I gave you a lower position score, because you definitely needed to play better angles there. Going to statue all those times definitely wasn't good for your teammates, because again, they kept getting out of that broken wall there. And then finally, your final category is grenades, and I gave you 4 out of 5, because I think for the most part you did buy grenades whenever you could. Sometimes you did have enough money to buy, or you didn't buy proper grenades. Definitely want to smoke if you're holding B long as a CT. Used correctly, I gave you an 8 out of 15. I thought for the most part, either you died with nades in your inventory, or you used them correctly. I don't really see you. I think you messed up like 1 or 2 flashes. Not that many like HE grenades or any of those, right? But yeah, so I gave you 8 out of 15. Pretty average grenade usage you used, slightly above average. And then finally reacting to enemy grenades, smokes that they throw, reacting to it, flashes, HE grenades, mollies, you just basically react in general. I give you a 3 out of 5. That rounds you off to a 15 out of 25, and your total score to 52 out of 100. So I know I think you're an SMFC, and this is basically putting you at DMG. Like, to me, this game, you play like a DMG. Definitely should be playing at a higher level. Maybe you just for having an off game. Obviously, you got a lot of kills, and I think that's primarily due to your aim, because you have really good aim against these guys. But you definitely could have gotten a lot more if you would have played smarter and thought about where the teammates were playing, as well as having proper economy management. So I hope this was very helpful and insightful for you. If you ever want another demo review or something else, just let me know. For those of you that don't have me added on Steam, I'll leave my email in the description box below.